Why does learning matter? In the MYP, global contexts are the answer. They are powerful lenses that connect academic content to the real world, giving students a deep reason to care about what they are learning. Every student asks, why do I need to know this? Content without context feels abstract, leading to disengagement. The opportunity is that when learners understand the why, curiosity ignites, transforming them into active investigators. Our responsibility is to be the bridge between knowledge and meaning, designing better learning experiences. That is what global contexts answer. They are the MYP's structured response to the why question. These 6 internationally recognized lenses allow students to explore the relevance and significance of what they study. The 6 global contexts give every unit a purpose beyond the subject itself. They frame learning within a larger human or global concern. These contexts include identities and relationships, orientation in space and time, personal and cultural expression, scientific and technical innovation, globalization and sustainability, and fairness and development. Global contexts link abstract content to human experience, transforming the why and how students engage. When anchored in a global context, inquiry becomes personally significant, knowledge transfers beyond the test, and global empathy develops naturally. This is the essence of internationally minded education. For example, in language and literature, a unit exploring the power of narrative through personal and cultural expression shifts the question. It moves from what makes a story well written to how do stories shape cultural identity and give voice to the silenced. This changes everything. In language acquisition, exploring language and communication through identities and relationships shifts the focus. Instead of, how do I conjugate verbs correctly? The question becomes, how does learning another language change how I see myself and connect with others? For individuals and societies, exploring migration through identities and relationships changes the inquiry. The focus moves from what causes migration to how does migration shape who we are? This transition makes the learning profoundly human. In sciences, exploring ecosystems and biodiversity through scientific and technical innovation changes the question. Students move from what are the components of an ecosystem to how can scientific understanding drive innovation that protects life on Earth? A mathematics unit on statistics and data through globalization and sustainability shifts the inquiry. Instead of how do I calculate the mean, median, and mode, the question becomes what do global data patterns reveal about inequality and our shared future? For arts, a unit on art as protest through fairness and development transforms the learning. The focus moves from how do artists use technique and form to how has art been used to challenge injustice and demand change. In design, exploring sustainable product design through globalization and sustainability shifts the central question. The shift is from how do I design a functional product to how can design thinking address global environmental challenges and create a more sustainable world. Finally, in physical and health education, exploring mental health and well-being through identities and relationships broadens the scope. It shifts from how does exercise affect the body to how does physical activity shape our mental health, self-image, and relationships with others. When learning is framed through context, it becomes human and personal. This fosters personal connection, empathy through inquiry, and deeper thinking. Students explore what it means to belong and hear voices beyond their own, leading to meaningful analysis and reflection. If the context doesn't change the lesson, it's not working. It's merely a decorative label. A genuine lens, however, reshapes the central question and changes the angle of approach. The true test is whether students can articulate, in their own words, why this context makes their inquiry more meaningful. Integrating global contexts effectively is a 4-step design practice. First, choose an authentic context. Second, reframe the inquiry around that context. Third, design tasks that reveal the connection. Finally, reflect and connect the learning to its real-world significance. Start by asking, why should my students care about this? Choose a context authentically, ensuring it genuinely fits your concept. Design intentionally, letting the context reshape your inquiry and assessment tasks. Finally, reflect continuously, asking students to make explicit connections throughout the unit.